Hello everyone and welcome to the JavaScript Earthquake Viewer. This viewer is built with the Web Whirlwind interface. What this allows us to do is to deploy a globe on the screen, and this the SDK and the APIs also have functionalities and functions that can be called to do various things such as creating place marks, creating polygons, manipulating the globe layers and everything on the screen. You can modify the globe on screen by simply using your mouse, zooming in, zooming out, or whatever you'd like. Or you can simply go to the bottom of the screen and there are a set of buttons to do that as well. You can zoom in, zoom out, and everything that you can pretty much do with the mouse, except this stuff cannot be done with the mouse, which is to kind of go in a different like viewing angle and stuff like that. At this point, you must be curious about what are those all nice looking colorful dots on the screen. Well, that's the earthquake data. You can click on any of these dots and you will see the information regarding them on the left information section. You can zoom into them or zoom out to go more specifically to any of the locations. The color scheme for these dots is as follows. The red dots represent the latest earthquakes. These earthquakes have occurred within the past 24 hours. The yellow earthquakes are up to 48 hours old, whereas the green earthquakes are more than 2 or more than days older. These circles are also reflecting the magnitudes for each of the earthquakes. For example, the circles with smaller radii have smaller magnitude, whereas the ones with bigger radii have larger magnitude. Here, for example, this was a 2.5 magnitude earthquake happened in Alaska, and this bigger circle was actually a 5.4 magnitude earthquake also happened in Alaska. You can also change the data format for viewing purposes. You can go in 3D. What 3D is essentially the bar graph representation of the earthquake magnitudes, where each bar occurs at the epicenter of the earthquake. You can go down, and the best way to see the 3D data is sort of at a tilted angle, because this allows us to actually reflect upon all of the features of those 3D bar graphs. You can actually see the various heights between bars. These heights are reflection of the earthquake magnitude sizes, and the color scheme here is exactly the same as a 2D model. So this is the 3D model. Let's zoom out. You can also choose which data that you see on the globe object using these sliders on the left. For example, if you only wanted to see data for earthquake magnitudes 3 or above, then you can just use a slider and select the value, and the data on the globe will be reflected based on your selection here. You can also choose a maximum age. For example, if you only wanted to see data for all the earthquakes that occurred within the last 24 hours, you can simply just use the slider, choose the value, and the data on the right will be manipulated accordingly. Use various projections on the globe. For example, you can currently it's the 3D model, but you can go equirectangular representation, or you can go rectangular, north polar, south polar, north UPS, and south UPS. But my favorite is 3D, of course. You can also manipulate layers that are being rendered on the globe object. For example, currently it's blue marble, but you can do blue marble and Landsat, which is this. You can also do Bing Aerial, which is this, or Bing Aerial with labels. It has all the labels and everything. Okay, we can do Bing Roads or OpenStreet. We can also choose whether or not we want to show the compass on the top right. Like this will disable it. Or we can choose the coordinates. The coordinates where the yellow information bar here, that was telling you the coordinates, for example, your, the latitude, longitude, height, and everything. As you zoom in and zoom out, these are updated constantly. But if you perceive them annoying or you do not like them, you can simply disable them. And the view controls, if you think you can do everything with your mouse and you do not want this to appear, you can simply just disable it. Another cool feature is the search bar. I can search from anything from an address to a city, state, or a country's name. For example, let me go to United States. Here I have it. Let's, for example, go to example, and let me zoom in more. Okay, so we have San Jose. Let's say if I wanted to go to Mountain View, I can simply put in a city name as well, or Fremont. Let's do San Jose again. Okay. So you can pretty much put an address, city, state. Let's put a state actually, Arizona. Oops, zoomed too much. So here we have Arizona. Let's put an address, 1905 Anderson Road, Davis, California, for example. So it's somewhere here. Okay. And the last feature that I would like to show you is tweeting. This application is actually periodically making tweets to the Twitter server, and these tweets can be seen at our Twitter account. Let me go to Twitter. Here, as you see, this was 13 hours old. All these tweets are being constantly made by the application, so a user can simply subscribe and they'll get all the updated notification from the Twitter. So this is the JavaScript Earthquake Viewer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the demo.